Alrighty, guys, this is bracket F of Mech Mania Monday for June 9, 2014, and this is the Herzog Zwei tribute to to the spiritual predecessor to Air Mech, and it will be on Crater once again, the starting map for the semifinals, and it will be between the blue player on the left, NotMinx, aka NotMinx, in the classic striker, going down with immediately going down with Longhorn to neutralize that middle, and the red player on the right side will be FriskyCow in the same exact striker, and he will be on the right side, as I said, going with that triple bird. He is one of the bird keepers. They are kind of more frequent nowadays, and we do have Minx going immediately for harass. Oh no, scouting to harass.
Scouting to
going
harass.
With creep kills. Okay.
Well, I guess she figures that her tanks are there doing her dirty work for her, neutralizing out this outpost right from the start, so she can spend her time doing. But Frisky loves just massing out zippers. But oh my God, he forgets to take
massacred.
He forgets about all those landmines and just look at that crater of destruction on Crater. Wow.
And gets killed by the neutrals on the way back. Mink's going to be able to easily push up with, or leapfrog up with her Longhorn. FriskyCow dropping the LOL. Indeed. Indeed, LOL.
Indeed. That was definitely that was fun to watch right there. I just loved it as they ran over all those landmines and just everything was just turned to dust.
And yeah, Minx is going to easily be able to grab mid right now. FriskyCow technically way behind now, sitting on a lot of credits, but now just finally now able to bring out his zippers on the bottom. Minx going down to
oh,
scout.
No.
Man. What a sixth sense. Oh man, and Frisky. Once again, the zippers just kablooey.
Well, at least now it should be a much cleaner path that if he wants to try to do that again.
Well, Minx kind of taking advantage of that, actually.
An open lane on the bottom, and a single zipper does survive. It actually makes it to the base, and look at all that damage that it does. I mean, it takes off, what, a whole 1% of the base health?
Yeah, well, when it's the core, you know what? I have a game that mass zippers actually got the finish, so it's pretty hilarious because they get there immediately, and their shots are really, really good because they're so, large in number at, getting through the defensive line of the fort.
And here we go. We have a light unit zipper push onto the main base, and look at the damage coming in. Let's take a look at the numbers here, folks. We got minus 55, minus 85. I mean, it's doing something. I mean, you can't discount it, say that it's not doing anything at all, but Minx at the same time just has blue everywhere on the map. I mean, there are jackals and longhorns and everything. I mean, she is neutralizing everything for the expense of, what, maybe 15% of her base health?
Yeah, it's definitely worth it, I would say. She's pretty much guaranteeing herself full map control with all those T-sends and Y-sends everywhere. FriskyCow kind of paying the price for not setting off those light mines ahead of time. Neither of those pushes really went the way that they could have or that he wanted to, and now it's way in Minx's favor. FriskyCow sitting on quite a lot of credits, though.
Yeah, he's just devoting so much to his light units and his zippers that he's really not even expending. I don't even think that, yeah, he doesn't even have a single tank out on the battlefield anywhere, but then again, it's not like Minx has a whole lot out of it. She only has a single Longhorn out on the battlefield, and that's it. I mean, both these players are really very light unit focused for this particular match.
Yeah, I mean, kind of taking advantage of the size of Crater is what they're sort of doing. I mean, Minx going straight for mid, which is probably the choice thing to do. I mean, who knows how successful FriskyCow would have been if he did clear those light mines, but at this point, his zipper pushes, every single one of his light unit pushes have failed pretty hard, and Minx able to take advantage of that double Lexi, finishing off FriskyCow earlier in that last attempt, so we'll be able to get a pretty good map control at this point.
And right now, look at and she's got another line of units coming out, and it almost is entirely Patcher focused. There's strictly only a single tank and a single Seeker being escorted by 7 Patchers all at the same time. This is definitely some of the most derpiest play that I've seen on Mech Mania Monday in about a month, and I am enjoying every second of it.
It is definitely good to see something different, something unique. Frisky gonna easily able to finish off these weird combination of units here at his fort. but Minx with plenty of more patchers, actually. Okay, sure, man, why not?
And she does. I miss her. She actually goes down to FriskyCow himself, and Frisky now finally taking all those credits that he has in the bank and actually building something a little bit more beefy and substantial. And because of the fact that Minx has nothing really heavy on the battlefield, I mean, if somehow Frisky can keep these units alive, I mean, how much damage and distance do you think that he could regain from these?
It would be pretty substantial, seeing as the unit count is actually in FriskyCow's favor. Might be able to weirdly push back all the way, or at least to the majority of the way. His top is still fairly surrounded with jackals, but he has been able to take his center close. He can continue pushing this this unit cluster, which is probably what he should be doing. But oh, what is Minx doing at the bottom? Sending a single jackal, I guess, probably for eventual distraction purposes.
Most likely, yeah. She's very, very famous, for those of you that are now watching, if you've never seen her play before, for just massive amounts of multi-pronged attacks all at the same time, just designed to throw you off in every possible way, so that way you don't know what to do or where to go. But, oh wait, do we have another landmine massacre coming? No, Frisky actually... This time he actually stops the units just in time and detonates the mines before they actually do any actual damage to his tank. So it took him 3 times to get it down, but he finally gets it right on the 3rd time, and is really regaining I mean, if he can take this middle, it could potentially turn the tide of the battle.
Well, now Minx going to full tank mode right now, and he will. Well, Frisky will very likely be able to neutralize this middle, as seeing as Minx is making nothing but tanks. Minx going down, so Frisky with his sword might actually be able to do some work on these tanks here at the mid, and gets a pretty good surround. Has enough soldiers to go in. Oh, actually no, 1 soldier short. LOL.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of his little troopers did die on their way. Even so, I mean, that is still a pretty good surround, where it would take her a little bit to try to get into, and I don't think it's worth it for her right now. And that's exactly what she's doing, is what I was thinking, is that she still has 1 outpost close to his base. His fortress is now completely undefended because he used all those tanks to actually push out. And oh, we kind of have a cross-tank pathing going here. Each one of them was pushing in the other direction, and nobody's really getting much of anything out of this.
Well, because Minx left absolutely nothing over there at that top outpost, that will go down. So once Frisky gets a defense here, assuming he can actually survive, which is very likely at this point, you know, he'll easily be able to take that top back. Minx looks like she's about to go down, actually. No, does land and take the cover of her tanks and will retreat here. So Frisky eventually going to, gonna just counter push straight up. And Frisky, this is weird, Steve.
It's weird, but it's so much fun, and it's great to see. I mean, Frisky, once again, just like in the last game, I mean, initially it wasn't looking good. His back was kind of getting pushed against the wall, and then he just has a way of just somehow pulling something, let's say, out of his hat, since this is like PG and going on YouTube and everything. So let's just say he pulls something out of his hat, and somehow just can really start to re-change the flow of the battle.
Yeah, at this point, Minx is actually going to be able to do that very likely, because she definitely had a lot of credits, a lot more credits than FriskyCow had at that last point of the game. Oh, and Frisky running out of energy, not able to transform, gets killed by the Seeker.
And that was a critical death right here at a very crucial point of trying to push in and take back this middle outpost. NotMinx starting to catch up on the unit count, but the huge advantage that she has right now is that she has just such a high overall unit cap than Frisky, that just if it comes down to a numbers game, Minx could outplay Frisky just from a numbers game alone. Up until the second.
I think the total credits on the field for Minx is a lot higher than Frisky is, seeing as she has a lot more tanks out on the field. Let's see, actually. Let's take a quick look at the top. It is a 7, because Minx has 2 more in queue, to 7 to Frisky, actually. So it's pretty even, actually. Weird.
It really is. I mean, there's very little difference here between these two guys, except for now that Frisky is once again, now because the fact that the whole heavy unit didn't work out, Frisky is completely regressing back down to the light unit approach, and we have a whole nother round of zippers that are being set out and deployed. Do you think that this is going to do anything of any worthwhile damage, or is it just going to more serve as a distraction to give Frisky the opportunity to do something else?
Well, he's using that as a distraction to go for mid. I don't know if he remembers he has like a crap ton of tanks sitting at his top. At his top right, there is just a lot of tanks, and he probably could have sent those at the same time as the zippers. You know, use one distraction to serve as another, as another pushes distraction. But yeah, he might have been able to make that productive. But as of right now, he has been able to neutralize mid though, and.
Well, neutralizing it is one thing, but trying to get control of something with this many tanks surrounding it is going to be incredibly difficult. I mean, as we can see that as soon as it turns red, it goes right back to neutral within seconds. There's just so much damage coming out from all of Minx's tanks that are surrounded out on this outpost. And FriskyCow goes down once again. Both these players dying a significant amount in this match, thereby showing the real fun of having Lexi Striker with both players.
You mean having Herzog Zwei mode on?
There we go.
And now FriskyCow does respawn.
That he does, and unfortunately I have no way to communicate with him, but he is using Guardians. Guardians were something that were not permitted in Herzog Zwei mode. So,
well, I mean, I don't know if he was aware of that, and to be honest, it's really hard to police that kind of thing.
Yeah, overall, I mean, they don't do overly too much damage, but either way, I mean, that's something that will have to be taken into account depending upon how this match goes. That's why we haven't seen any Guardians from anybody up to this point, is that Guardians were not actually allowed in tonight's tournament.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I mean, it's a little weird that you can't actually unequip them and put a no unit in there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see how Carbon Games was trying to make sure that someone always had something available, and maybe with the new mechanic of the way that they're built, it's required to be there, or else maybe it breaks the game. But either way, it would have been better if we could put a no Guardian in there. But you know, I can't expect Carbon to completely rewrite their entire software just for a single Mech Mania Monday tournament. Although we were trying to actually get an item added into the game that was going to add a lot of Herzog Zwei functionality to tonight's tournament.
I did see that in the forums. That would have been pretty cool. I mean, you know, maybe you never know. Maybe Ken will have time to implement that sometime in the future.
Hopefully, and for those of you that are wondering that aren't too sure, one big thing about the Herzog Zwei game was the fact that this blue bar that's underneath your air mech, which represents your energy, which as you see as you fly around, it depletes lower and lower. In Herzog Zwei, when you ran out of energy, you instantly died. So it really made it that you had to pay much more attention to your mech and where you were going and what you were doing, and did you go too far, where essentially, you know, just like anything else, the point of no return. You know, have you gone too far that you no longer have enough fuel to get back? And if you didn't make it back, you died. And, you know, it really adds a whole new element and perspective to the game that otherwise, you know, it's something that, you know, especially all these players would not be used to it because it's never been a mechanic of air mech up to this point.
Yeah, it would definitely be something cool to see if we could get it implemented. While we've been contemplating on the implications of Herzog Zwei, FriskyCow's actually sent out quite a lot of tanks, Steve, if you see that on the mini-map, and a lot of zippers as well.
I very much have been seeing it and noticing it, and we're just waiting for the right time to speak about it, so that way it was like, you know, suspenseful moment for the viewers, because now all these tanks are here, and is Minx going to be able to pull yet another trick out of her hat? I mean, this is similar to a situation that she was in her last game, and somehow she still managed to stay alive. Is she able to do it once again? Is she there to survive? Where is FriskyCow supporting this entire push, spreading these units out and keeping them alive? Minx almost dead. Minx dies at the worst possible time. That will be game right there because of that one death.
Very, very likely. She was very, very close to actually getting this complete defense off, but at this point, FriskyCow shooting at the corner, easily able to get the rest of that life off, and that is it. FriskyCow does take this game over, not Minx.
Not Minx. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the scores from this particular match. Minx with 1 kill on Frisky. Frisky with 2 kills on Minx. 5 deaths to 4 deaths. 18,399 points to 16,987 points. Fantastic match all around. I had a great time watching it and casting it. I'm pretty sure RUI did too. Hopefully you guys, our viewers, whether you're watching right now live on our Twitch channel or watching the replays on YouTube, have enjoyed it as well. If you enjoy this action, make sure to hit follow on Twitch and YouTube, so that way you always get to see great games like this. But either way, this is Mech Mania Monday's 1v1 Herzog Zwei Tribute Tournament. I am Steve. RUI had joined me. Stay tuned for our third place match.